Remember Season 3 when the LH1 got buffed at the beginning and all we saw was the LH1 in every game? Season 4 is starting to remind me a lot of that phase. Anyways, let's talk about the Pike, a perfectly balanced weapon that nobody complains about. A lot of people have been asking why the mediums ARs have worse range than SMGs, and I feel like we got an answer to that by getting a DMR that has better range and better close-up than basically anything. It's also an answer to dealing with the snipers that are sitting across the map, and an answer to will anything top the model in terms of strength. So let's get into some of the values here and see just how strong the Pike is. I'm going to show you guys some values of the FCAR and the revolver, as I find these two share similarities that help shine a light as to where this weapon really sits. The revolver being a single shot weapon and the FCAR being an AR that's meant to be a bit more about range. I feel like we can kind of see where this weapon sits and what are the strengths and weaknesses of some of the other weapons versus this. The revolver does more damage per shot, but does shoot slower. The FCAR and revolver both have less damage per magazine than the Pike. The reloads are similar, but the Pike is slower here. From the range values, we can clearly see that the Pike is easily the best at range. It's really not even a competition. With the way both weapons work, the FCAR is meant to be played at more of a far range AR, but if the Pike ends up being a lot better at range, then the FCAR should win a little bit closer up, and the revolver should win at some point in terms of TTK values, since it clearly doesn't have the best range. Well, how about we get into some of the TTK values here and see where all these weapons end up. Certainly the long-range DMR kills a little bit slower up close. Well, no, it really doesn't. In fact, it kills faster than any other medium weapon in the category besides two specific cases. This is in the case of the Model 1887, killing mediums in 0.9 seconds, whereas the Pike kills in 1.2, and the FAMAS actually kills in 1.16 seconds against mediums. So I think in conclusion, it's very safe to say that where the Pike stands right now, it is the best weapon on medium. The only thing that can put in a little bit of competition is the Model 1887, simply because it is a shotgun and can be pretty good at close range. But with the tempo of the Model 1887, I find it's a little bit easier to play that quick in and out playstyle, whereas the Pike can sort of play this, but does need to commit a little bit more in order to get those faster TTKs. So the Model and the Pike both have a very strong place in the meta right now and are probably two of the best weapons in the game, period. When it comes to maximizing this weapon, I honestly still say stay at range and take high ground. Each headshot, despite it only being a 1.5, is still a pretty significant change in the time to kill values and how many shots it requires to kill somebody. So definitely aim for the head when you can. And obviously, if you are on high ground and aiming down at somebody, this is going to be a lot easier to do. Now, honestly, I'm actually really happy to receive overpowered weapons early on in the season, as much as I joke about it, as long as these end up being toned down a little bit later. I think it's actually been a blast using this weapon, and it's been a really nice change of pace since we basically had the Model 1887 as the meta all last season, and prior to that, we've basically just seen the exact same meta. So Season 4 finally feels fresh, and with Embark's track record, I assume they will more than likely be nerfing this weapon. I just hope that they don't kill the weapon and end up making it one of the most useless weapons. So we will have to see. Like I said, there's still a place for some of the other weapons, but as it stands, if you just spend the time to learn the Pike, it certainly is probably the strongest weapon in the entire game as of right now. Subscribe for all the finals educational content that you're ever going to need. Thank you to all my members. Comment below what your thoughts are on the Pike. Is it okay to have a weapon be the strongest both up close and at far range? Do you guys enjoy having something becoming so overpowered at the beginning of the new season? I've heard a lot of complaints about it, but personally I think it's kind of fun just to have a bit of a change of pace for a little bit. So sit back, shoot at your enemies from across the map, and I will see you in the finals.
Bringing you back.
Medium's gonna come. I'm going to steal. Nice.
Fire station. Time to bounce.
On church.
Enemy spotted up there.
He's padding on crane. Two on crane with you.
Contestant is on a roll, people. They're moving to one location.
Heavy's half. One's on my body. Oh wait, what?